So this is a little reminder video. We talked a little bit about food illustrators, and let's get there. Okay, I lost it, sorry. We talked a little bit about food illustrators, and what you're going to start doing is selecting something that goes with your recipe. Remember, you're not necessarily going to pick everything about your recipe. So if your recipe is banana pudding, you may just do a lovely bunch of bananas. You don't have to give the whipped cream, the pie crust, bowls, mixing spoons. You could, especially if you have the extra time and ability, but you don't have to go quite that far with it, okay? And I just want to reiterate the importance of picking some kind of an image that you feel comfortable with tracing and owning a little bit on your own, okay? So doing that, you're going to go ahead and select the image, right-click and copy. It's always better to copy and paste into Illustrator. There's a couple of ways around. The only problem is some of your items, when you try to open them up, when you go into your palette for colors, you will find that it doesn't give you the full gamut of colors. So there's a couple workarounds if you get to that. Again, don't forget my screen is going to appear different than yours now because mine has been updated. And I want to make sure that you are aware of that. Again, this is like a little bit of a puzzle. How am I going to take this banana apart and build it layer by layer? So I would probably start with this one. I would start with this here. I can go ahead and lock it just like you know. That's my layers menu. You could go up to Window, Layers, or F7. That's how you can find those. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually create a new layer. Now remember, we don't want to do sub-layers. We're going to create a new layer. This one is going to be my yellow banana. I'm going to call it yellow banana back. Okay? So what I can do is I can start working on tracing that image. Again, I have a fill on mine right now. You could always get rid of that fill. Mine's not going to be perfect. Control Z, I can undo that. Let me get to here. Now I can click right here. You see how that curve is completely wrong? I can click back on that anchor point and I can actually get rid of that. And as you get a little bit more secure with what you're doing, you're going to find that you can go a little bit faster. Please do not go as fast as I'm going right now unless you are comfortable with that. See, it's completely wrong. I can click on my anchor and it's going to get rid of that left-hand side. Finish that up. Make sure you see that circle before you close it. Okay? So the background of that banana is now completely done. Again, spend enough time on that. But the one thing I really want to do, I'm going to turn off the eyeball to just kind of turn the visibility off. I'm going to show you guys this little eyedropper tool. This eyedropper tool, I can go ahead and I can grab whatever that color is, and I can apply it to whatever I need. So on this case, I'm going to go ahead and move him down. He's selected. I can eyedropper that yellow, and now we are good to go. So I have this guy. He's all set. He's exactly how I wanted, minus a few blubs, which we won't worry about right now. And I'm going to go ahead and turn off visibility there. I'm going to make a new layer, and I can call this accent colors. I can put all of my accent colors on here, or I could say this is going to be just my light yellow. This one's going to be my light brown. This is going to be my darker brown, etc. So at this stage, again, same thing goes. I'm going to come in here. Let me just trace probably an easier one. Go in here. I'm going to click on that to get rid of the other handle because that was completely wrong. I'll probably do the same there. So I can click and drag just the right curve. Get rid of that one. Close that up. I believe it's been closed. I can go ahead now and move them out of the way. Eyedropper and get that brown in there. Put this guy back. And again, he's a little off, but I can fix that. As I put that, you can see that I'm getting those pieces kind of in exactly where they need to be. I am going to need to make some adjustments. You can see I can see some of that yellow. Again, you're going to go into your direct selection tool. You can go ahead and work on either this one. I could grab that point and I could kind of pull that up a little bit so that it gets a little bit better of an alignment. Same thing would go here and pull that up a little bit. I might make it really wonky inside there, but actually it fits this a little bit better. I might be able to go with my keyboard and use my arrow keys to nudge that just in the perfect place. Okay, so that's really what you need to do, is you need to take this image apart visually. How am I going to attack it? What's your action plan? In this case, I felt it was better to start with the banana shape. Fill it in with yellow, and then move towards these on top of it. You may find that you're going to want to make these pieces individually, almost fitting together like a puzzle. Do remember though, if you choose that route, it's really hard to get these images to butt one up against each other and get them in the proper, like exactly perfectly inside of here. So you do want to think about what's the better path for you. So again, once you are all done, you're going to have these pieces on. We're going to turn off that layer, which has my original image. Everything here then could be selected. I'm going to go on my regular selection tool. I'm going to select everything, and I can edit, copy everything that I did once it's completed, and then I can go to my other document with my recipe and edit, paste. And that's how you can build them. Again, I highly recommend you have two documents. One is going to have the food illustration, the other is going to have your recipe. An additional tip is using Microsoft Word or some other word processor to do your typing. That way you can do some spell check, you can kind of space things out a little bit, and then copy and paste that into your Illustrator document as well. Okay, so that's it. That's kind of what I want you to keep in mind as you are building your pieces. Choose wisely and ask me lots of questions.